Bless you. One of the most deadly and effective pack hunters in sub-Saharan Africa has developed a rather effective way of making decisions as a group. With just a sneeze, this pack of wild dogs will vote to decide who lives and who dies. Want to know more? Stick around and find out. When you see the word dog, most people immediately picture a ridiculously fluffy golden retriever or adorable French bulldog. You know, the standard family pet you play fetch with. Ah, good boy. When you say wild dog, you're either talking about one with rabies or a straight-up wolf. But head on over to sub-Saharan Africa, and the dogs there are built just a bit different. Unlike their crotch-sniffing cousins, African wild dogs usually have black faces, large black cup-shaped ears that swivel to follow sound, and colorful patterns on their legs and trunk. It's this exotic marking that's earned them the title painted dog. African wild dogs also have a very different bite than other canines. Their molars are almost non-existent, and their much narrower canines offer little in the way of puncture power. It's their oversized premolars and blade-like carnassial teeth which are perfect for shearing flesh and crushing bone into fragments. Exactly the kind of mouth you don't want to run into. Despite their carcass-destroying jaws, the African wild dog is actually a super loving, social, and empathetic species. Unlike many other pack animals, the African wild dog isn't all about survival of the fittest. In fact, after a kill, adults will regurgitate part of their meal to feed their young, the sick, and the elderly. Sure, fights over food occasionally break out, but everyone is taught to share and to look after the rest of the pack first. Even cannibals need table manners. Looking after the young is a job for the whole pack, especially in the first few days as new pups emerge from underground dens. Honey badgers are notoriously aggressive, and a tiny wild dog puppy is the perfect bite-sized snack on the run. When two are spotted lurking around the den, a pack member springs into action, giving mom enough time to collect her pups and retreat them to the safety of her den. But it's not just childcare that African wild dogs do as a team. Their pack hunting skills are legendary. So much so that animal behaviorologists believe that when an African wild dog goes on a hunt, they're successful over 80% of the time, making them one of the most effective predators on the African plains. As a gamer, if I knew you had a 4 out of 5 kill ratio, I'd definitely be putting you on my squad. They're able to take down much bigger animals, including wildebeest, antelopes, and even leopards. The African wild dog achieves this impressively high statistic through some ingenious hunting techniques. I know they call it fast food, but chasing down your dinner every day gets kinda tiring. So to combat this, African wild dogs use a relay system to take turns being the lead attacker. One dog will race up and keep pace with its prey, biting at its leg and slowing it down. As the lead dog tires, it drops back into the pack for a quick rest. A new leader takes up the chase, pushing forward and doing the same before again dropping back, just like in a relay race. This strategy allows African wild dogs to chase prey over vast distances, tiring out their prey without succumbing to exhaustion themselves. Every member of the pack contributes, given the chance to both lead the hunt and strike the prey. Eventually, this wildebeest is overpowered and the relay team sits down for dinner. While 1 out of 3 African wild dog pups are eaten by lions, occasionally the power of the pack gets one back. Surrounding a lioness and her cub, the pack confuse and separate the two in a scattered attack. The cub is collected and made quick work of, while the terrified lioness takes an absolute battering from the pack. The wild dogs repeatedly nip and bite the lioness, wearing her down as a final insult. Another tactic used by the wild dogs of Africa comes purely down to patience. When impalas are threatened, they head for the only protection they have over African wild dogs: deep water. Unlike the impalas, who are graceful through dams, rivers, and lakes, African wild dogs can't swim. Sometimes, however, diving into your nearest swimming hole is only a temporary escape, because guess who's waiting for you on the other side of the dam? Now this hunt has turned into a game of patience. What gives out first? The poor impala's legs from treading water for 5 minutes straight? Or the patience of a pack of hungry African wild dogs? It doesn't take long to find out the answer to this question. Just like in the case of wolves, scientists don't recommend you keep an African wild dog as a pet. Do you think you could tame one? Let us know how in the comments below. On a recent study conducted in Botswana, it was discovered that African wild dogs have developed an incredibly sophisticated system of communication and voting within their packs. When faced with an important decision, like where to hunt or when it's time to take a nap, members of an African wild dog pack use sneezes to register their vote. That's right, even dogs have democracy. When hunting, a member of the pack will sneeze to suggest that it's time to move to a new hunting ground. Pack members that agree sneeze in approval, and when a sufficient number of sneezes are performed, consensus is achieved and it's time to move on. However, some sneezes are more important than others. Each African wild dog pack has a dominant pair, an alpha male and alpha matriarch. Their sneezes are worth way more, and a vote from either one of them will quickly sway the decision. If your dominant pair aren't on board with the decision, it takes a clear majority of sneezes to get things going. You can only imagine what life would be like if our elections were counted via sneezing. Not only would everyone have COVID, but there'd still be ex-presidents claiming the sneezes were rigged. But just because you live in a sneezy democracy doesn't mean things are civil. Often, specific males are exiled from packs to prevent inbreeding and resolve internal disputes. When you were in school, did you ever have someone pick on you? I mean, not just tease you, but mercilessly make your life a living hell? Well, good news. Nature's equivalent of your schoolyard bully is the hyena. They're the arch nemesis of the African wild dog and have been trolling them for thousands of years. Although they might appear similar, a hyena is actually more closely related to a cat, so I guess the rivalry makes sense. The thing with hyenas is, they sit around and wait for other animals to make a kill, and then they swoop in to collect. It's the bully stealing your lunch money all over again. Hyenas are physically bigger, with a much bigger and stronger bite, but what African wild dogs lack in pure strength, they more than make up for in numbers. Not only are they able to fend off an attempted steal by a group of hyenas, they're able to seriously injure one of them as well. African wild dogs can be opportunistic given the right circumstances, like when a juvenile leopard accidentally drops his half-eaten antelope carcass out of a tree. Sensing the free, pre-prepared lunch, this pack of wild dogs moves in. Knowing they're outnumbered, the leopard takes his meal to go. You can't help but be impressed by the speed that leopard climbs up the tree, meal in mouth. If only these dogs could climb trees. Oh well, maybe next time. And that's all we have time for today. If you know of any other killer animals with nightmare features, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit that big red button now. See you next time.